Good morning. It is June 6th, 2023. And above me here is a headline this morning. Amid aggression, China ramps up diplomacy with the U.S. I've heard a lot about China recently, and I saw this headline and I wanted to talk about it. If you've heard me talk before, follow the money. I definitely focus on finance as a profession. So what I like to do is follow the money. I've heard all about how dangerous China is and China's taking over the world. And this is all amid the fact that we know their birth rates have absolutely plummeted, that their society is aging. And if you know anything about an aging society, it's probably the most dangerous thing that you can have on an economic scale, because all societies are set up so that the younger generations take care of the older generations. So if the older generations are 3 times the size of the younger generation, that doesn't work. It is a pyramid scheme that doesn't work. And I want to prove it to you right now. So for those of you out there that are afraid of China and afraid what's going on, I want to help you follow the money. I want to show you how to follow the money. So we're going to jump over to the stock market right now, and I'm going to screen share with you the country of China and how it's been trading. And I will prove to you right now that no one in the world is afraid of China, not their economy, not their military, not anybody. This is a story you're being told. And here is the overwhelming proof. So, if you have been alive in the last several years, you have definitely seen that the media manipulates almost everything and creates stories out of nothing and follows some level of narrative. And the reason this is important to you, if you're an investor, if you're saving for retirement, is because you have to be able to root through all that noise and decide where to really put your money. 10 years ago, they had the world tricked into thinking that China was the next economic power and that was where they needed to put their money. Now, let me show you this chart right here. So I want to tell you what this chart is. This chart is FXI. This is basically the entire Chinese market in a US traded ETF. And you can see that right here. iShares China Large Cap ETF. Okay. Now, this is also the most widely traded Chinese ETF. So basically, by buying this ETF, you are buying the Chinese economy. And what we know about markets, whether it's real estate, stocks, bonds, cryptocurrency, traditional currencies, is that the big guys, the big banks, the players around the world control them, or at least have most of the money at stake in these markets. So they tend to be the leaders in these markets. And let me tell you what they think about China. Today, we are sitting at levels that are equivalent to the lows of 2008, 2009. The low was actually in 2009. A lot of people think it was 2008. 2008 was when the crash happened. There's been no rebound in the Chinese market. None. None. Do you know why? Because they sell cheap crap. And for a while, people around the world were buying these cheap products, reselling them in their home countries at a premium, driving up prices on cheaply made products because they're made at a cheap price. That's not to knock cheap products. That's not to knock what anyone was doing. But playing middleman to cheap garbage is only going to last so long. And as you can see, anybody that knew what was actually going on was well aware that that was not going to be some leader in the Chinese economy. The Chinese economy is made up of ghost cities, cities in which no one lives. Now they say, well, that's because people are going to live there. No, that's to falsify their GDP. This is something you can do in a communist country. So I wanted, after I saw this U.S. amid rising conflict, diplomacy, China is of no threat to us. And anyone that's saying they are a threat to us economically or any other way is unaware of what the world has to say about that. Because the smartest guys in the world, the bankers, the guys that run everything, regardless of how you feel about bankers or Rothschilds or Rockefeller, the fact of the matter is they control all the financing, that controls all the media, that controls all the big corporations that at this time in history are controlling the world and the way that it votes, the way who's elected, how those laws are passed. So we are under their control. And this is China as of 2007. And here's what the Rockefellers, the Rothschilds, the big bankers, and the big traders around the world think of China. That's what they think of China's threat. So I post this to show you, or hopefully to prove to you, that a lot of this noise is just that. It's just noise. So this should tell you something else. I hope you're not investing in China. If you are, this is a wake-up call that you should cease and desist from that activity immediately. So I hope that that you enjoyed this. I hope this was somewhat insightful, along with my other videos. I'm going to try to do some headlines from time to time. This is not an anti-China video, but it is telling you that this noise that you're being told about China being an economic threat or China being a threat of any kind is absolutely ridiculous. And you should be looking in other areas because China is not the place that you need to be looking. All right. Thanks again, and I hope you enjoyed.